Okay, I'm starting my hike. It is 7:48 and I have 1,457 steps before I begin my climb to Mount Sterling. But I wanted to bring you along and let you know it's already on the incline, but I'm super excited. Met some nice people that are doing the whole thing that I'm doing in 3 days and 1 day hike. So it must be doable, right? Walking through a green tunnel here. It's leveled off a little bit, but I think it's getting ready to go up some more. But so far, so good. I don't even think it's 8 o'clock yet. Well, I'm second guessing myself. I'm not sure if I locked my car or not. So I'm heading back to the parking lot to double check that. So I'm not worrying about it the whole time. I've only been in the trail for like 10 or 15 minutes, so not too big of a deal. But you know, it's probably like my garage door. I had my friend Lynn go over there yesterday to double check to make sure I shut it, and I did. So hopefully I'll get down there and it will be locked, and I will have just put in a little bit more time on the trail. It doesn't look like much of an incline, but steady incline up. I'm breathing hard, and that continues up. So it's beautiful. It's pretty quiet. Haven't seen anybody else on the trail since I passed the people from the parking lot going the opposite direction. My car was not locked, so that was a good call to go back. But yeah. Okay, this is our first water crossing, so let's see how we do here. It doesn't look too bad. Get both my trekking poles in one hand. Here we go. Let's take a look at that cool little waterfall. Where'd it go? Right there. And then you guys can watch my steps. And here we go. We made it. It's leveled off a little bit. I call this part of the trail the recovery phase. Anytime the incline levels off for a little bit. It's raining. It's about 10:43, and it's rough. So I decided to take my backpack off for a second, grab a handful of trail mix and drink some water and take a little bit of a break. Only like 5 minutes or so. Then I'm going to get back up and climb. So I'm sweating like a banshee. And have my rain jacket on, which makes it a little hotter, but not too much more. So, but that is where I'm headed, and that is where I came from. So I'm not really sure how far up the trail I am. My watch isn't tracking my steps, and so I have really no idea the distance that I've traveled, but I've been out here for about 2.5 hours, so we'll see. I looked up and I'm in this beautiful fern section of the forest. That's where I came from. And that's where I'm going. Still don't have any idea how long I've been hiking. I know that it is 12 o'clock, but don't know the distance. I'm not sure what this is, but it's everywhere. And it's a different color, so it looks really kind of cool. It stopped raining, the sun is out, and still climbing. So I was able to take my rain jacket off. And my shirt is soaking wet from sweat, not rain. But I've been taking little breaks and making sure I'm drinking my water, and had a couple handfuls of trail mix when I stop. I'm on my second bottle of water, which isn't usual for me. I'm not always good about drinking my water. So, but, all right. I'll put you back in my pocket. That's my trail up ahead. Hey there, we have found the water source, and it is probably going to be the steepest climb I do all day. So this is where I'm going to get my water out of this pipe, and all I do is take my filter, fill it up. The hike down here, ooh, this water is nice and cold. It was super steep, so I think it's going to be the highest, the most steep of all my climbs today. It's coming back from the water source. Okay. Making sure my filter's activated. Now I'm going to open up my bottle, which I haven't done yet, so it's still got those little... Oh no! That would not be good. Okay. I'm just going to open up this, put it here, and squeeze. And that's how we clean the water. So I'll do this bottle. The other bottle's halfway full. I'll fill it up the rest of the way. And then I'll bring this bag full of dirty water so that when I leave tomorrow, I'll have enough water for the next trek. So that fills up a little bit more. And then, oh, there we go. So this will be ready to use when I get back to the campsite. But this is a 1 liter bee-free Katahdin filter. So, all right, now back up the hill. Sit on this log for a second and have some pickles because I'm feeling like if I don't, my legs might cramp. So, taking another short break and then finishing for today. So, there's where I sat for the pickles, and I could have sat here. I'm half a mile away from my campsite, I believe. And look at the view. I could be sitting here. And then the tower is right here. So I think since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and climb the tower now, so I don't have to go back. This is from the top of the shelter, and you can't really see, the clouds just rolled in, but it's beautiful. Might clear up as I'm going back down, but my legs are shaking. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, and I'll show you on the next clip here. Look at the floor. So I have a death grip on this center pole, which is pretty sturdy. But then I'm walking down those things, which creeps me out. But I did it. So now the hardest part is going to be getting back down. Holy cow. This is pretty stinking scary. My legs are shaking. So you can hear the wind and you can see it. And this is where I have to go. So yeah. Holy cow. Alright, I'm going. Bye. Okay, well, I found my campsite for today. I'm going to put my tent, I think over here. It's a little bit more level. And then the bear cables are up here by the fire ring. So, man, it feels weird to walk without a pack. So, this right here is the bear cables. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're attached right there. And they go up there, and you hoist your backpack and your food up there. And then this is the fire ring. So I'm going to head back down, get my tent up. In case it starts raining, I'll already have that taken care of. And then I haven't eaten lunch yet. It is 2 o'clock. So I'm going to have some lunch. And then, not sure. Got a lot of the day left. Well, I packed up camp. That is my rain fly. I'm trying to get dried out. Some of my other things. And then I brought everything up by the campfire, which I'm not going to start, but I'm going to do my breakfast, and then I'm going to pack up and head out. Okay, well, this is what I heat my breakfast up in. And this is my breakfast. Biscuits and gravy, can you believe it? I'm eating biscuits and gravy, and I have a long spoon to scoop it out of. So, breakfast time. I'm starting day 2 of my hike, and I'm leaving the campsite. So that is where I ate my food, and then down over there is where I had my tent. But it rained most of the night, I think. So my tent and stuff is a little wet, but I am hopefully going to get to my next campsite a little early, where I can dry this stuff out and get it all set up and ready for tonight. And I don't think it's going to rain tonight, so that will be good. There's a place here where horses can go, and this is the last place that they can ride to. They can't go past this point on this trail over here, which is where I came from yesterday. And so I'm heading down that way, and hopefully going to have a great hike. So, bye. I haven't even gone 10 minutes, and I'm at my junction. So there's this one right here that takes you to Longmont Trail and Mount Sterling Gap. And then this trail will take you to Mount Sterling Ridge Trail, Pretty Hollow Gap Trail, Swallow Fork Trail, and Balsam Mountain Trail. So I'm going to Swallow Fork Trail, and both that and the Pretty Hollow Gap Trail are at the same spot. So okay, this is our trek. It's been downhill the entire time I've started. Not that I've been going for that long, but pretty rocky, but definitely quiet. much chillier than yesterday. Last night I thought I'd be scared. My first time sleeping out in the woods by myself, but it wasn't too bad. So this is the first incline of the day. That's where I came from, and that's where I'm going. So I stopped to get a drink of water, let my heart rate go down a little bit, and then I'm on to climbing. Some more level ground I can videotape for you. My nose is running like crazy. It's after 10 in the morning, but it feels really early. I guess just with the fog and the quiet. It's not too hot. I'm still wearing my fleece. I'm sure that'll come off soon. Well, this has definitely been an experience so far. Nothing earth-shattering. My climb yesterday was really tough. And going to get water was a 700-foot descent down to a pipe that was pouring out water. Not pouring out, but and not dripping out, just a nice easy flow. So I filled up on my water, and then I was a lot closer than I thought I was to my campsite. I walked up the tower, which was pretty scary. It's a 60-foot tower, and at the top the boards were rotted out, and I think I'm a little bit afraid of heights, enough to make my legs tingle. but I still wanted to make sure I got up to the top of that, so I did. But I couldn't see very much because of the fog or the clouds or whatever. And then the campsite wasn't marked. I thought it was where I was, which was just on the other side of the towers, but it didn't say anything. So I walked down the trail a little bit and then called the park service, and they told me that I had passed it. So I went back up. It was supposed to be pretty crowded, and nobody was there. I was the only one that camped there last night, from what I can tell. I got there pretty early. I was there before 3, and you could camp on either side of the trail. But so that was my first solo night camping, and it went pretty good. It rained, I think, most of the night. Either that or the dew from the clouds were dripping off the trees, because it wasn't a hard rain most of the night. It was just a drizzle. And then got up this morning, tried to dry off my stuff as best I could. Took my time, hoping that the wind would dry out the tent and stuff. And it was really windy last night too. But just gusts. There were a lot of gusts of wind. And so I was hoping that the trees that I were around were safe and healthy and not going anywhere with the wind, and they didn't. They were good. So yeah, so first day on the trail was a success, and the second day has begun. So we'll see how this goes. It's supposed to, I have 48% chance of rain today. I'm hoping that was this morning, and that it's going to dry up and get sunny, so that when I get to camp, I can dry out my tent a little bit better and my other pair of socks. But other than that, my food's been pretty good. I had beef stew last night. That was really good. And then I had sausage and gravy, sausage biscuits and gravy this morning. And I don't normally eat that stuff. In fact, I can't remember the last decade I ate that, but it was really good. And I have a snack in my side pocket. My water is filled, and I am good for the day. It's going to be a short day, but it was really all I could find to do, and it's probably just what I need for my first time out. So not complaining, just grateful I can be out here. So I will talk to you later. I'm going downhill, so I need to pay attention. I'm at my junction, so that looks like it's a pretty crazy trail. I don't see anything there. Mount Sterling and campsite 38 is where I just came from. And then campsite 39 and Palmer Creek goes that way. And then my trail goes this way to Big Creek Trail. So I have 4 miles and my campsite's right around that juncture. I just came across my first water crossing and this cute waterfall. It's beautiful. Okay, so I had my first scary encounter about 20 or 30 minutes ago. I've been walking like a beast, and but I had 2 boars, wild boars, cross my path about 45 to 60 feet in front of me and scared me to death. My legs were shaking. I pulled out my bear spray. I don't know if it'll help or not, but let them pass, and then it passed again. And I wasn't sure whether I should go or I should wait. I could hear them up in the hill breathing, and so it kind of freaked me out. But my legs were like physically shaking. So it was a scary moment for me, but I've lived to tell the tale. Well, I just made my lunch. Tuna fish, pickle relish, and mustard in a wrap. This is my view for lunch. Okay, well, I just talked to some gentleman and his hiking buddy that said that campsite 37 has a lot of bear activity throughout the year, and it's one of the most shut down campsites in the park. And guess where I'm staying tonight? Yep, campsite 37. So I'm going to definitely be hanging my bags, and then I also talked to him about a different route to take out. So instead of going straight down Big Creek, I'm going to go up to Low Gap and go over to Mount Cammerer and go out that way. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm going to end up missing the waterfall, but I heard the views at the top of Mount Cammerer are pretty good, and it'll give me a chance to get on the AT. So it's a tough choice, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, I think I'd get out of here way too early, and I want to make the most out of the day that I have. Well, this is my second night, and this is what I'm sleeping next to, opposed to last night where it was all woods and no water. And just want to show you the other side, a little smoother, but absolutely no phone service, so I missed my Zoom meeting with my volleyball team, and met some really nice people. There's a single gentleman out here hiking by himself, and he's got a pretty cool setup. And then there are 2 guys from Ocala, of all places, that are out here for a couple nights doing some backpacking and camping. So we ate dinner together, and that was fun just to talk and socialize with another human being. But yeah, it's been a great trip so far. I'm going to change. First water crossing of my last day on Friday. Already hit a climb on Low Gap. Today is the first day that I'm actually seeing blue skies and sunny, which is perfect because I heard the view at the top of Mount Cammerer is just beautiful. So left camp right at 8 o'clock and on Low Gap Trail heading to the AT, and then I will head towards Mount Cammerer and then out to my car. Okay, so hit the trail at 8, and so far so good. Had a little bit of an up climb. Trail's pretty level, a little up and down, but not much. But the sun is shining, and that is good. And so far no critters have crossed my path this morning, so my nerves are pretty good. But we still have a big portion of the day to go. This will be my biggest hiking day of the trip, so I'm excited and looking forward to what's ahead. Still making the climb on Low Gap. Just finished a pretty significant climb, so this is mild, but absolutely beautiful. Well, I just left the intersection of Low Gap and the trail to Mount Cammerer, and there was a girl there taking a break. She'd come up from Cosby and was heading towards Cosby Shelter, and her friend were from Kansas. So that was the first person I've seen this morning on the trail, and so kind of startled me when I got to the top. I got there a little right around 9:30, like I thought it would. So it took me an hour and a half to do 2.5 miles, and now it's 2.1 miles to Mount Cammerer. This is the Mount Cammerer Trail. 2.1. Kind of see out a little bit of a view here. Here's the first sign that I have that I am on the AT. So it has been uphill the entire time today, minus maybe the first 15 minutes. So my legs are getting a good workout, but I'm so excited about being on the AT and seeing the views at the top. I'm getting pretty close to the tree line, you can see, and I'm sure the view at the top is going to be well worth the climb. Just like anything else, it's got to be worth the climb, right? I haven't hit Mount Cammerer yet, but you can tell I'm pretty much at the top of the tree line. So things have flattened out a little bit, and just wanted to have you walk along with me for a little bit. I think we're going to start getting some pretty nice views. Pretty pink flowers blooming. I'm still in the AT, heading towards Mount Cammerer, and just hiked a little ways with a woman named Turtle, which is her trail name, and she's 71 years old. She just started backpacking last year, and her goal is to hike or backpack 150 miles a year until she's no longer able to. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And she just lost 80 pounds and decided to hit the trails and see what she could do. So I just tripped, in case you were wondering what that was. But yeah, I enjoyed walking along with someone and having some conversation. So wanted to make sure I got that on tape so I wouldn't forget. More climb. But hey, there's a mountain at the top of this, so it'll be worth it. Okay, well, I'm coming up on a marker which will help me figure out where I'm going. So I go to Mount Cammerer. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, 0.6 miles. Okay, I'm coming off the spur trail to Mount Cammerer, and we'll be heading down the next trailhead. That's where I came from. And I'm going to be heading down Lower Mountain Cammerer Trail to Chestnut. When I was on top of my Cammerer, there was a guy hiking up, and he looked like he was out of breath, and I asked him if he was okay. He said yeah, but he couldn't get his water thing to work. He was using a bladder, and so I let him take my second bottle. I hadn't drank out of it, and it was still full, so I let him take that because I knew that I was going to be down in 4 miles and could refill when I got down to the bottom. So hopefully he is doing better, but his hands were shaking and I was a little bit nervous for him. So yeah, but hopefully he drank it all and is feeling better. Nice treat that I came across. Well, this is where I'm going, and then if you can see, trail leads down that way. So once I hit Mount Cammerer, the trail has been pretty much downhill, and it's been really nice. I had one really nice view. I've actually had 2 really good views, but one was absolutely beautiful, and I came across Turtle again, the 71-year-old woman who's hiking solo for 11 days. So we stopped and took some pictures, and then I continued on. And she and her husband RV, and when they retired, they sold their home in New Hampshire and bought an RV and are living out of an RV. And she loves it. So she is one of my new inspirations. Plus, she's carrying a 40-pound backpack. There's no way. I don't know that I would want to carry 40 pounds. But she's doing it, and she's not complaining about it. So kudos to her. Actually on Chestnut Branch Trail, that is where I came from. Definitely the most steepest decline I've had, and keeps on going down. So this would have been one crazy hike up, the steepest if I would have went this way this morning like I was planning on it once I finished Big Creek Trail. So don't know who the man was that advised me to go the other direction, but I want to thank him. Okay, I'm just about done with this hike, and the bugs are starting to come out. But my first official solo hike, 3 days, 2 nights. But what I discovered was I'm good with solo hiking. I like it. I enjoyed today the most because I crossed paths with more people than I'd have the other 2 days combined. So I like that interaction. I would have loved for my brother to come with me. Last year my brother and my niece came and we had a great time. And so I'm good with either. Whoops, I just dropped my trekking pole. And but I can do solo hiking. I'm good with that. I just like having some interaction with people every once in a while, but then I like the quiet times too. So it's been a good trip. I've really enjoyed it, and there were some parts that were pretty tough, and there were some parts that were a little tough, easy, beautiful. I got to see rushing streams and beautiful mountains, and when I finish off this trail, I'm going to drop the big pack, put on my day pack, and go for a mile or mile and a half hike to a waterfall. So by the end of this trip, I will have seen a waterfall, some swimming hole, the mountains, and some rushing creeks. So it's been a great trip. Well, I'm headed up to Mouse Falls or something like that. And it's just rushing water all the way along the path. It's been uphill. It's 2 miles from the parking lot. And my legs are feeling it. But I'm going to enjoy the down on the way back and take my time and stop and take some more pictures. I didn't want to stop on the way up because when you're climbing, you just got to keep on climbing. Here are the waterfalls I've been looking for. I walked probably an extra 1.5 miles and didn't realize that I'd walked past them. But there they are. I'm glad I found them on the way back. So they are beautiful. That is Mouse Creek Falls, I believe. Well, my trail time on the Smokies is officially over. It is 5:59 on Friday, and I'm just coming off the Midnight Hole Mouse Creek Falls hike, which I went quite a bit further than the falls because I missed it. So I think I put in about 6 or 7 more miles. My intention was only to do 4. So, but it's all done. Now it's time for me to clean up and go get something to eat. I'm hungry.